The round table.
Gentlemen,
Aye.
let's broaden our minds.
Lay on, gentlemen, and let them know what's what. Fire at will. It's time for action, gentlemen.
Gentlemen of the round table.
What's the topic of discussion?
Civility, gentlemen. Always civility.
Okay, so should we start the show then?
Yeah.
All right, so now it's time for a prayer from presidential candidate and senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders.
Look, I'm honored to be given the opportunity. I want everybody to know that I'm primarily an atheist, so in that regard, I would just like everyone to keep their eyes open and look straight ahead and just affirm whatever inward or outward beliefs that you have, whether they're of a personal nature or more of a, a sort of spiritual, whatever you have. And let it happen, amen, and amen, and amen, or the reverse of that, whichever you prefer.
Welcome to the Roundtable of Gentlemen, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. What an honor. I mean, Bernie Sanders, Mr. Sanders.
I can't believe it. The Colonel.
It's incredible. Well, yeah, different guys.
I am an inactive colonel in the Vermont State Militia, so it's accurate, but I don't look. You don't have to call me that.
Yeah, Bernie, how are you preparing for the debates on Tuesday?
I've got this one down. I'm done. It's in the bag. I'm relaxing. I thought I'd come by here. Look, there's no way I'm not winning it.
Yeah.
I am as certain to win the debate on Tuesday as I am to lose the election in July.
Oh, man.
Barely. Just barely. Due to the superdelegate.
That is the beautiful James Adomian. Thank you so much for being here, James.
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, I don't understand. If you're not talking to somebody who's not in the room here, I am a firm believer in not only the fourth wall, but I believe in the tradition of Franklin Roosevelt and the New Deal that we should build a fifth and a sixth wall to put American theatrical performers to work again in this country, building more and more fictional walls until we have a dodecahedron of fictional walls.
Amen.
Bernie is here.
Ornament.
That's right. Edward, you're also here.
Hello. How are you doing? I'd like to give a shout out again to my only fan, Andy Codron. The only one who roots for me.
That's great. How do we know him? He's just he reaches out to you?
He reaches out to me. He comforts me when I need him most.
Okay.
Touches your body.
I like it.
Holdenators, ho! We've got some shout-outs today. Zach Mac 2727 reminded me that it's been a week, Ed, and you still haven't played him in Mortal Kombat X. Also,
supposed to play him?
Avid Raja is a fucking spastic. The Arcadian 616 says, happy anniversary of the day you wiped your nose up your mother's vaginal cavity. We love you, you filthy long-haired bogan cunt. From Big Mac and Cheese and Sean Zombie Slayer.
Just for clarification, those are directed to Mr. Larson and not to myself.
Drew is a twat waffle and Kathleen is a cunt spelunker.
I think you're giving these people way too much fucking
Priceless Tim is a
show.
fucking degenerate.
All right,
And that's
very
my
good.
shout-outs for the week, everybody. Thank you so much for hitting me up.
What makes him a
Again,
degenerate?
I would love to play a game with you. I know you like to just say it, get me to give you shout-outs, but we would have fun if you played a game with me.
All right, don't play a game with him. Kevin, you're here.
Yeah, I'm here physically. But mentally, I have no idea where the fuck I'm at.
That's
Dead,
fun.
man. Yeah.
That's dark.
I'm half awake.
Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah, dude.
That's exciting.
I know that feeling. That sounds like a Grateful Dead concert to me.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, we have, of course, to the live stream, we have the live chat. A person with the username Get Drunk Start Barrel Fires says Eddie should be your VP pick, Bernie.
Wow. What do you think about that?
Well, look, I'm looking at some people. We're looking for more diverse options, just to be frank.
But he's overweight. A lot of the country's overweight.
Yeah, what
that'd
about
be
the
good.
fat
You get that
man vote?
Get the fat vote.
Now, is a barrel fire like a homeless man fire? Is that what we're talking about?
I think it's just general barrel fire.
Or it's
Okay.
like Donkey Kong throws flaming barrels.
Yeah, it could
Yeah,
be.
that's the preferred kind. Through the air.
Bernie going after that fat vote, getting Ed on the ticket.
Look, I'll take a hard look at it. What's your position on Citizens United, the Supreme Court decision?
Doggy style.
All right. Well, thank you, Ed. That's
Ed's back, ladies and gentlemen.
I think that passes my litmus test, believe it or not.
Sanders and Doggy Style, 2016. All right, Peggy O'Leary is also here.
Hi, how are you guys?
Very good. Thanks for being here, Peggy. How's everything going?
It's really good.
That's exciting. And you got a great podcast, Hard, Lonely, and Vicious.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's good to know. Check that out here on Cave Comedy Radio. And Maria Heinig is also here. She just finished a wonderful-looking taco salad. I'm going to be hungry the entire episode looking at it.
Good.
All right. And you've got a great podcast, Just for Us, all of us, both of us. It's us.
No, keep going. I'll let you know when you hit it.
It's us, all of us. Let's see here. I'm going to say it just for us. No.
More selfish.
It's more selfish. This is us.
For us, by us.
Either way, Marcus.
Yes, I have a podcast. It's called FUBU. Only
Great.
Black people are allowed to listen to it.
Right.
It's called It's About Us.
It's about us. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great podcast.
With
Check
me
that.
and Ray Sani.
That's right. Check that one out.
How far in the future is your jacket from?
Oh, I thought it was in the past. This is a HQ issue. I'm wearing a jacket. I currently have $60 worth of laundry at the laundromat, and I'm wearing a white T-shirt.
God, the big man's curse.
Honestly, well, that's the funny thing.
Outfits.
No, it's 2 pairs of jeans and a sock.
Yeah, but those poo-poo stains, they add weight.
Thank you, Holden. You were too late to make jokes about me today, so we can't deal with it. Holden was 45 minutes late because literally he was doing nothing.
Let me ask you something, Mr. Kissel.
What?
Is your laundromat a locally owned laundromat, or is it a landlord owned on the property?
No, there's no landlord on the property. I think it's locally owned.
It's actually
Look,
just a
I think
teepee.
if I am elected president, I promise that the change that you put into that laundromat, you will be able to get refunded on your federal tax return.
Hey, I'm all for it. You got my vote, Bernie.
Small little giveaways. That's how you win.
That is entirely too true. Oh my! You are the truth-telling politician.
Look, what else do I have?
Let's see. Let's do a news story.
Oh, speaking of fat, an 800-pound Cranston, Rhode Island man who was kicked out of a hospital for ordering pizza is living out of his father's SUV and needs a new home. Stephen Asante, 33, recently spent 80 days at Rhode Island Hospital in an effort to get his weight down to 550 pounds. However, Asante said he was kicked out when he ordered a pizza, violating his care plan. Rhode Island Hospital did not comment.
Wait, was it a clinic or it was just a straight up hospital?
It was a hospital, but he was in a program that ordering pizza was a deal breaker.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
Do you know where your life has to be at? That ordering a pizza is what makes you homeless? Like,
Yeah, not good.
That's fucking fat.
I mean, I think this guy's the coolest. He's the coolest fat guy in there, though. Spicoli.
He's like trying to be the cool guy, just like, I'll order a pizza for us, guys. No
exactly.
big deal.
Yeah, you get kicked out of rehab for shooting dope, and you get kicked out of a hospital for ordering a pizza.
Well, this was a similar situation. Asante said his situation was the result of an eating addiction, and his father, Stephen Vallette, told WJR out of Rhode Island, taking Asante home would put him in danger of returning to his prior eating habits. So now he's just trucking him around in an SUV,
So he can
as
go
you
through
can see
what,
in the
drive-thrus?
picture here.
I also like that he doesn't let him wear sleeves either.
He looks like he's going to deliver a baby in that picture.
He does look big. Bernie, what would you do about the obesity epidemic that's currently destroying this country?
Look, I don't want to get into any kind of personal attacks on people who are large. I think I could sit here all day. We could sit here all day long, and we could make jokes about people's the belt size. Or we could say your mother would do this or that because her carriage isn't accepted by most of society. I think the real issue is that a society where someone's health problem is not a doctor's decision, but the decision of a health program of some kind. I think that's absurd. I think if the doctor says you can have a pizza, go ahead and order it. 30 minutes or less.
Right.
I think if Kaiser Permanente says, look, you can't have this or that topping or whatever, I say, look, shove it back in the oven. We don't need their input. We need single payer. Single payer, 5 toppings minimum.
Right.
And if you call now, we've got a very good special.
What pizza company you shilling for?
What pizza? Look, there's a couple of local Vermont places that basically it's just Costco pizza. Have you ever had Vermont pizza?
I haven't had it.
Moose, syrup.
Moose syrup pizza.
The moose is the moose pepperoni. Sliced a little round disc.
That sounds great.
Sometimes you get chunks of antler in there. And then it's just, instead of tomato sauce, the syrup. And then the cheese, of course, is, it's just American cheese.
American cheese, because you're an American man.
Well, the 800-pound man's father told the news station, I just don't know who to turn to. I called everybody you can think of in the state of Rhode Island, and nobody seems to be able to help us.
It's actually physically difficult to turn to a lot of people.
Yeah, it is. He's definitely facing one direction for a long time.
Yeah, he is.
So wait, also, they're not letting him in the house because then he'll eat.
They probably can't get him into the house. There was a situation, there was about an 800, 900-pound man in my hometown of Stevens Point, Wisconsin, when I was growing up, and he had to go to the hospital. They had to cut out the entire wall of his bedroom and then pretty much forklift him into an ambulance. And you know the way they do that? They take the ambulance, they weigh it beforehand, then they put the person in, and then they weigh it again, and he would have to get weighed at truck stops and weigh stations, and then they just subtract the weight, and that's how you figured out how heavy this person was.
You should see how they get Chris Christie from debate to debate.
You're on fire, Bernie. Getting votes. I'm
telling the truth. Nothing to lose.
That's like my dad. My dad's a funeral director, and that's his favorite story to tell. Is the first time he ever picked up over 800-pound person, because he just went by himself to a hospital. No one gave him any warning.
Right.
So him and another male nurse just had to use sheets, and he always says, "He goes, you need to lift a body." Get some sheets. They won't break. And that's how they lifted an 800-pound man.
Her and how many people?
They rolled him, right? They didn't lift him.
No, they lifted him with a sheet.
You got to use leverage.
It's my dad, so I'm sure he said 2, but I'm sure it was like 4. Like, I think he was like, it was just me and another guy.
No, you can move it leg by leg, arm by arm, and then you roll over the torso.
Yeah, get a 2x4, wedge it in there, pop them up.
Totally. I watch my 600-pound life all the time, and I'm envious of how these people live half the time.
I mean, it's America. I mean, why don't we just have Kool-Aid Man-shaped doorways and conveyor belt sidewalks? Come on, we have to. It's a disability. I say I'm getting larger, so I'm thinking about the future. And if I have a house, it's going to have a very large door, folks. I am up to a 36 waist and counting. Friend.
36?
It's large.
I'm a 38, so
yeah,
you're about
I'm coming
there,
up on you, buddy. We can play. Yeah, we can play football together.
You're lapping him.
It's incredible.
This is like you planning out your 401k.
Absolutely.
It's like, this is how big I'm gonna get.
That's the thing, but it's at some point I'll qualify to be a sumo wrestler, and that's a good market. That's a good market.
It's not a good market.
That's a good long-term plan.
It's worse than MLS. No one watches sumo here. Unless Bernie Sanders is president.
Well, yeah, but I'll move to China or Japan.
I don't watch sumo on a week-to-week basis, but I keep track with the scores of the paper.
He's always looking at it.
Perfect. You got to change your lifestyle, Holden. You will be on one of those TLC shows very, very soon.
It's true. I had 2 big slices of pizza today, and then I was like, "Oh, honey, I'm big," and she was like, "You should go on a run," and I got mad at her instead of doing it.
Like an episode of The Honeymooners or something.
You used to run a lot, though, didn't you?
I did. I'll run for 2 weeks at a time, and then it gets real boring.
That's a real long run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Forrest Gumpish.
I'll Forrest Gump it for, a couple weeks, and then, once the beard gets so long that you're tripping on it while you're trying to run, then you got to cut it and go home and eat a bunch of food.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
I'm also a runner, just for the record. I was, until very recently.
What happened?
Well, I'm old.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 7,400 years old.
Yeah, they leave a couple of zeros off usually when they say that, but yeah.
Yeah, so people wouldn't believe it. Look, I'm as old as most of the surviving texts in Western culture.
It's amazing. If you're 600, 800, 900 pounds, though, what do you do for exercise? At this point, you've eaten yourself out of all mobility.
I got it. Crab walk.
I see.
Bring back the crab walk, I say.
Yeah, roll around.
Yeah.
Roll around.
Apparently that's supposed to help.
Yeah, go down a hill.
Yeah, but that isn't, you just, that's gravity. That's
Go
not
find
you.
a
You might as well be
hill.
driving down a hill.
Doesn't matter.
Go to the moon.
Still your body.
Oh,
moving.
go to the moon.
Then you weigh
I
nothing.
didn't think of that.
So send this man to the moon.
That would be amazing. We should send all the fat people to the moon, and then it'll get all dented up and stuff more than it is. That'd be kind of fun.
Gravity on the moon is 20% of the gravity on the Earth. That can solve the obesity problem as soon as we can figure out how to launch them.
Yeah. A big cannon, right? I mean, that's all we need, really.
Yeah,
Put a tractor beam on the moon.
Yeah.
And you could suck up the fatties.
Eddie, where are you going? Oh, my God.
Someplace better.
Yeah. Like a hermit crab, this guy is sort of living like, right?
Oh yeah,
Do you think he's just gonna fill out the space?
Yeah, he might. I don't know. His eating habits were bad in the house. They're thinking that if he stays in the SUV, then they're not going to stay as bad.
Are they not feeding him? Like, I don't understand how that makes it different.
I think it's more just him having a kitchen nearby, is that they have to periodically restock in small doses instead of going to Costco once a week.
But he's not able
That's
to
very
get up.
specific.
He's not able to get up out of this.
No.
So it's like, what's the difference? He's just sitting.
That's what I'm saying. If
still
he
sitting
can't
there.
move, what difference does it make?
You can't
He's in a
store.
car.
You can't store a whole lot of food, so he has to wait till you get to the store. I don't know. Maybe where do they park? Yeah, wouldn't they just park it in the Sam's Club parking lot?
I don't know.
Sometimes there's a loading dock.
Wait, did he make a comment at all?
No, he has not
the
commented. Let me see if I can find a comment from him. But
My
Because
throat's
we just
big.
find out he's like, no, they've been force feeding me. Like they're captured me. This is terrible.
I mean, in a lot of cultures, extremely obese people are revered as gods.
I found an update on this story.
Uh-oh.
Turns out he wasn't kicked out for ordering a pizza at all. He claimed it was for ordering a pizza. In reality, he was caught
exposed
on
his penis.
He was caught on camera harassing a nurse and mocking taxpayers who paid for his treatment.
Oh, my goodness. But, Bernie, your policies are the reason we're paying for him.
I don't know where you're getting that from. I was fed like a hypothetical situation. I responded hypothetically. I think if you have a problem, if you can't keep your thing in your ample sized pants, then that's your problem. And we have to come after you as a sex fiend.
This is fat socialism.
I'm a democratic socialism. I don't not in favor of anything Stalinistic or whatever you're thinking of.
Yeah.
He was in that hospital for a few months. You know how much weight he lost?
How much?
20 pounds.
That's
What
it.
piece of shit.
If this guy would not eat for like 3 days, he would lose 50, 60
yeah, that's
pounds.
crazy. That is crazy. I
He's
have lost weight. I was gonna say I had gastric bypass when I was younger, and when you go into like a gastric bypass clinic, all of the chairs are like huge, so fat people can sit in it. It's very upsetting. But you lose weight so fast if you're on some sort of weird diet. Like we could all lose 20 pounds if we tried.
Sneak eating, clearly, right?
Well, here's the problem with the gastric bypass surgery is that you can only be at max 550 pounds.
He can't get that.
Yeah,
He's
he
too
can't get it.
unhealthy.
Did they try sprinkling on some breadcrumbs or something to soak it up?
Yeah, he's too busy showing his dick to nurses that don't want to see it.
I don't think that he could possibly
the
show
large
his
man
dick.
has the tiny penis.
It's funny. They say that you gain half an inch of penis for every 50 pounds of weight that you lose because the fupa, the fat upper penis area, that just surrounds the
fat
penis.
upper penis area.
That's correct. The
Go
fupa.
on.
That surrounds the penis. I lost 160
for
pounds,
women.
and I thought, well,
We don't
no,
have
for that.
penises.
Pussy.
Well, yeah, it's usually referred to in that regard. But I had no idea what I was packing until I lost 160 pounds, and you can actually reap the rewards of what God gave you.
What's it supposed to be, man? What are we trying to do right now?
What do you mean? What am I? I'm just saying he can't show his penis. 800 pounds. His penis is inside of his body.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes.
I can't believe he can feel his penis.
No, I don't think that he can. I mean, literally, I had a coach who was about 500 pounds in high school, and I told this story all the time. He had a string attached to his dick that he would pull out like a turkey being done for Thanksgiving dinner so he could pee. Your penis just goes inside of the fat.
Yeah,
Because it doesn't grow with it. You know?
He was harassing a nurse, but he wasn't sexually harassing a nurse.
He was just an asshole.
Yeah, he was
That's a jerk.
That's disappointing. I was really hoping that he was sexually harassing him. What'd he say?
The video was called Nurse, I Need Help. All this stuff is on YouTube. And he can be seen about 50 seconds into the footage yelling for a nurse to come to his hospital room because a machine wouldn't stop beeping. He started screaming at the top of his lungs, what the fuck is going on here? Nurse, nurse, nurse. He yelled nurse at least 30 times in a 3-minute and 51-second long video where he wrote in the description that he's abusing hospital staff.
In my America, you will only have to shout nurse 10 times before someone is legally obligated to come at least pat you on the shoulder.
At one point in the footage, he starts to play the Britney Spears song Give Me More as he places his bedside remote control in and out of his mouth while screaming for a nurse to come.
That seems great.
That's sexual.
He seems great.
Just leave him next to a river.
Yeah, sure.
Come back. Just leave him next to a river.
If he comes back, then he lives.
Yeah.
I am also in favor of doctor-assisted suicide.
In this case, I mean, he's doing it to himself.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it says.
If you're a nurse, though, I mean, how obnoxious is this patient? You know, he's eating himself out of a.
You definitely got to think about killing him.
Yeah, and the guy does say the father does say that he vows to keep driving until he finds a permanent solution for his son.
Driving his son around, you mean?
Driving his son around. Yes,
Sure.
he vows to keep driving his son
That's
around.
an Oscar movie right there. Keep driving. Or driving Fatty. I don't know what you want to call it. Or, Fatty has fun on a road trip part 3. Whatever you want to call it. I'm not Joe Oscar over here, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know what to call the fucking thing.
I like
right?
Fatty has fun.
Fatty has fun on a Tuesday, yeah. You keep making the title. I keep making the title longer, though, because I feel like that's more for Oscar bait, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
The longer the title, the more the Oscars you win.
I like movies that take place in one day, too.
That is true. Yeah. He'll definitely be dead by the end of the day, so he'll definitely be one of those.
Oh, speaking earlier to our point about sending him to the moon, apparently on the chat, Get Drunk Start Barrel Fires, full of great information today, says that at the cheapest, it's $10,000 per pound to put something into orbit. Just into orbit. That's not even to the moon.
How the fuck does he know that?
Well, he just knows it.
He lights barrels on fire. He knows some stuff.
And he does it drunk, so he's smart.
Oh, look, maybe we could piggyback some of the urgent needs of NASA with the limited capacity to just get them into orbit. If we can strap them with some sort of transmitting technology, some weather balloon sensors or whatever, and just
I would
have human biological satellites, a low Earth orbit from the obese citizens that would pose too much of a burden down here on the surface.
Just kind of giving us better cell phone plans,
like an aluminum foil type thing. You wrap them in and throw them up.
Sure,
there.
just like a number of vests that all each contain like a little receiving dish or this and that. And look, you have maintenance right there at the satellite. If something goes wrong, he could go beep, beep, beep. It's back on for the big game or whatever. What have you?
Forward-thinking candidate right there, Ben.
Yeah, I know. I'm blown away.
And by the way, Eddie, Get Drunk Start Barrel Fires says, I'm a physicist and a pilot. That's how.
Shut the fuck up.
You're very smart fans. Very smart.
Oh, man. Well, good for you, Barrel.
We actually do have quite a few Air Force listeners. It's very strange.
I'll tell you what, man. Nothing's better than a fucking pilot called Barrel Fire.
You don't want him flying over your small town, that's for sure.
What are you doing, Barrel Fire? You're too high.
Is he available for Joint Chiefs of Staff?
The Sanders, Larson, and Get Drunk
Barrel
Start
Fire.
Barrel Fire.
More fat news?
Of course.
A jaguar on a breeding loan to a Delhi zoo in India is being sent back as he is too fat to mate.
Oh.
Yeah, 12-year-old Salman was borrowed from a zoo in Kerala a year ago, but has shown little interest in their female jaguar. Keepers say he reaches out for his meals, quote, more keenly than for Kalpana. That would be the female jaguar.
Yeah.
They say the female is seen trying to entice him, but he lies in a corner and refuses to respond.
Maybe he just likes boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the
He
case.
also seems like he might be depressed. That's how I am. I can't fuck, but I'll eat a lot.
Leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
Leave him alone?
Yeah.
The zookeeper says he is lazy, a glutton, just loves to eat and relax.
Then
See, that's just mean.
Why are we judging animals over here? What kind of species have we become?
I thought it was 2015, man. I thought we moved forward.
Is he actually fat? That's crazy.
Yeah, he's actually fat. They
real.
said releasing him into a larger enclosure did not prompt him to take exercise or trigger any interest in mating.
Then just put the food on the other side of the cage. Like, make him walk at least over
Could
there
be.
to get it, right?
Put the food on the animal, the female animal. That might work. Kind of erotica, like sushi off a stripper.
I wonder what his PlayStation name is.
Many in this country today are depressed because the prospects of getting a job, a good-paying job, aren't that good. And I don't think we have enough high-paying jobs for Jaguars.
So you think we should just offer this animal a job and he'll get out of his depression?
Look, I think that the tools should be there that if you want a job and you're able and willing to jump out of a tree and kill something or run fast through a prairie or what have you, that job should be available.
I mean, that's a paper boy right there. We get him just hawking newspapers at doors.
Yeah. What other kind of jobs?
I think that we could break up. First of all, I propose that we break up Cheetos, and then we have multiple people endorsing instead of just the cheetah. I think why not have Johnny Jaguar or whatever his name is have 4 or 5? Because if you're too big to fail, that's too big to be existence. I think it's time we take on Big Chip.
The big chip business. I understand that completely. There are too many flavors right now in the chip game. It's upsetting to me. There's
too many flavors?
He brought me shrimp one time.
Yeah, did you see there's a new Reuben sandwich chip?
I'll try that.
Yeah, country gravy and biscuits.
That seems
Gyro?
crazy to me.
Do you guys know Shalewa Sharp? The stand-up?
No.
Yes.
She was in one of the...
Good, Bernie. Good to know you're up on your stand-up.
Atlanta, young black female comic, very funny. Been in New York for a couple of years, I believe.
Bernie, Atlanta.
Bernie, you're so niche. But she was in one of the test groups for Cool Ranch Doritos.
No.
Ranch wasn't a flavor before then.
Wow.
It wasn't a thing. Can you imagine a world without ranch?
It's It's one of the standard 5 flavors. It's barbecue, ranch, sour cream and onion, plain salted, my personal favorite, and zesty Italian.
I love watching your face as you're this is
deciding on whatever bullshit.
I was
was
like,
gonna come out of
oh
your
fuck,
mouth.
I said 5. Now I gotta come up with 5 flavors.
You're supposed to say salt and pepper. Come on.
salt and
Or
pepper.
cheddar.
Yeah. Also, I really miss the 3D Doritos. Anybody
Those
else?
were great.
Nobody else?
I know.
They were-
I thought you were going to have my
I
back
never
on
got
this
into
one.
chips. I was
They
never
remind
got
me.
into
Never got into chips.
You never got into chips. Get out.
What do you mean you never got into chips?
I like meat. I like meat.
I think you're a
Get out.
Russian spy. I don't even think you're American anymore.
Yeah, chips isn't something you get into. It's just chips.
I'm just now I'm
Chips
imagining
with
you
the
as a
meat.
child walking down the street just eating a bag of meat.
Yeah, what are you, the richest person of all time?
lunch meat. I eat a lot of lunch meat.
What?
That's why he smells like bologna. That's the whole bologna Eddie.
Like if you were having a sleepover, you would be like, no chips for me. I'd like the bologna.
Hey,
Yeah,
Mom, will you bring out the plates of meat?
It's actually a lot healthier that way.
Charcuterie.
It is. It is.
I mean, I eat chips. I have had chips.
Oh,
but,
that's good.
But I'm not big on them. I like sweets.
Okay.
I like,
What about
I
Pringles?
like pickles.
What about Pringles?
Oh, Pringles? Nah.
No,
Pretzels
what?
are good.
Pretzels are good.
How about munchies?
I don't know.
ever
I
had
like
them?
the Old Bay chips. Those are good.
Bugles?
Where do you come down on oatmeal?
Oatmeal.
That's almost all I eat. Oatmeal.
Yeah.
I got oatmeal ranked at 28.
Bernie favorite oatmeal. Go-to oatmeal.
It's plain oatmeal, regular oatmeal flavor. I don't care for cinnamon.
No syrup? What about the syrup?
I don't need brown sugar. Look, I have syrup on the side.
But it's steel
I wake
cut,
up,
right?
I take a shot of syrup, and then I read several newspapers for exercise, and then for real breakfast, I just have some plain uncooked oatmeal.
Wow.
Yikes, just the flakes.
Tough to eat it there.
You don't even put it in water?
It expands in your stomach.
That's right. The secret lunch. You don't know how much you ate until it tells you. That's nice. Well, very successful. That's where you're crushing it. You have a lot of longevity out there in the field.
True. Energy. Try the Bernie diet.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you lose this, you can just go out with that. Try the Bernie diet.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not some kind of Bob Dole character, if that's what you're thinking. If I lose this election, I'm going straight back into the books, looking at all the numbers again like I always have.
Yeah.
If I lose this, you're going to have to pull me out of the library in a gurney.
For
been
ordering a
said that
pizza.
Bernie's like the Neo from the Matrix. He just sees numbers. He only sees sort of like.
That's true. Yes. Yeah. There's some hard numbers coming in.
Favorite number?
Favorite number? 1% of 1% of 1% of 1%.
Tiny number. Technically still a number though.
It's 0.0001 if you want to look at it. That's my favorite number.
Why?
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 Because I think that's the number that we have to focus on to take the money away from them and give it to everybody else.
It's a good point. Can't argue with that number. That's a fact. So this little panther tiger thing, it's just going to go
Yeah,
back
the
to
Jaguar
the
is
zoo.
too fat.
Yeah,
It's not going to work
They
out.
should just feed him less. Why is that not an option?
Yeah, why aren't they have control over
Run
the
that
food?
fucker. Get him mean again.
Or let him hunt. Make him hunt for the food.
Take him to one of those dog runs in
Yeah.
Central Park.
Exactly. Make him chase the dogs and murder the dogs.
They're saying he's showing that they've tried giving him libido-enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
Have they
He's
stroked
gay.
him?
Ironically,
He's a gay.
Ironically, they were giving him, panther claw or whatever, and it didn't work.
Yeah, that's true.
They got to stroke
weed.
that fucking thing. They need to stroke him and stroke him and stroke him and stroke him again, Marcus.
Train him, man.
They dewormed him and everything. It didn't
All of
work.
it. Sounding? You ever sounded a jaguar? You haven't lived till you've sounded a jaguar.
All right. Very good.
I know how the Jaguar feels. I've been sent away for lack of performance before. Back when I used to hang out in Topanga Canyon with Stevie Nicks.
You had sex with Stevie Nicks then?
No, nope, I couldn't do it. So they had to. I was dismissed from a rather fun orgy environment.
Yeah.
I had to tag out. David Crosby came in and finished the job.
Oh my goodness. Fresh off his yacht, probably ready to go.
God, man. It's got to be sad not to, fuck better than Crosby.
Oh, well, no one did. No one ever could.
Everybody wants to blame me. They ever ask what Stevie's problem was.
Yeah.
What was Stevie's problem?
So much Rhiannon.
Let's move to St. Louis for another story.
Oh, no, that's a
I don't
nightmare.
want to do that.
That's a terrible place to go.
A man from St. Louis threatened to kill 500 million people with an atomic bomb, then stabbed his caseworker with a samurai sword to keep him from revealing the plan.
Keyword, caseworker.
Caseworker. Joseph Jakin, 80, 29, faces felony charges of assault and armed criminal action and a misdemeanor charge of making a terrorist threat. Court documents claim the attack happened. Thus, the caseworker was visiting Aid as a part of an outpatient care program on September 28th when Aid threatened to blow up his entire block with an atomic bomb. Aid.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, but when we say
whole
terroristic threat, we've talked about a lot of these ridiculous stories.
It's only a misdemeanor, though.
No, but I mean, this is not an act of terror, or it's not a terroristic threat. It's an impossibility.
Well, he claimed to be working with Turkish terrorists.
And what kind of mental disease does he have?
Oh, he's got a whole series of things going on.
Right. It seems like a
I
pretty.
think the atomic bomb was only going to wipe out his block.
Yeah, the 5400 block of Louisiana Avenue in South St. Louis.
It's a big block. It's a suburban area. Large car-oriented society.
Well, they said it was going to start there, and then that's where it would begin, and then eventually they would kill 500 million
So
people.
it was like a
I see.
grassroots movement.
Yeah.
To slowly blow
Sounds like
everyone
the
up.
Turks, though.
Yeah. Bernie, what would you do? I mean, are you for nuclear weapons, or do you want to
I'm
sort of
against
less?
in fact, I am the last serving member of the No Nukes movement. I never turned in my card. When Orson Welles passed away, I became the chairman of No Nukes. That's me.
Wow.
So, yep, I say no nukes. I think we should replace all of our nuclear weapons with just nice little messages, a nice song or something.
Like a singing telegram person?
Yes,
Like,
exactly. A singing telegram.
yeah.
Maybe some Tetris blocks that we shoot over to try to confuse an enemy by rapidly dropping Tetris blocks onto them or something. But Dr. Wario's or whatever you have, but I don't think there's any place for nuclear weapons in the 21st century, despite all of science fiction.
Seems like kind of a Game Boy strategy.
Yeah.
You could call it that, yes. You
Yeah.
could call it the Game Boy strategy.
Yeah.
If Reagan gets Star Wars, I get a Game Boy.
I mean, if you see Tetris blocks, you got to put them together.
Yeah,
you have to.
Well, that sounds to me like the And that's a Russian song too, so it sends a message, you know. It's a very
Yeah,
Russian
then
song.
the Kremlin was in the background of that game, wasn't it?
Yes,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was.
They love putting stuff together.
Yeah.
Is that the kind?
Good one.
Bernie, first laugh that Bernie got. Eddie got Bernie's first laugh.
Well, this guy, he claimed to be working with Turkish terrorists, and he told his caseworker not to tell anyone, but the worker told him, look, I got to tell my supervisor. The guy then pulled out a samurai sword, started waving it around, causing the victim to try to unlock the front door to leave. And as he was doing that, he felt a sharp pain in the upper right part of his back. The victim was able to leave, get in his vehicle, and drive away. He then called St. Louis police.
Who among us hasn't swung a samurai sword around at our caseworker?
Right. Raise
also-
your hand.
Like, how did
I'm more of
he,
a katana guy myself.
where was the sword the whole time? You can't just be talking to people and just have a sword and them not see it. He had to go get it.
Yeah, was it?
What happened?
Was it on his hip? Like, where'd he get it from?
Maybe it was stuffed in his back of his shirt. And he pulled it out.
Yeah, that very much could be it. He might have had a very long bag with him.
Or a trench coat, like
Very
a
long
Highlander.
bag.
Yeah.
You were going to say a long back. He might have had a long back with him.
Or like a cake
for
in the
posture.
shape of a sword. And you just pull the icing off.
Or a turtle shell backpack.
I'll tell you what.
Never know.
That caseworker is going to get so much pussy, though. He is got knifed with a sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does
Does that get you pussy?
Sure.
In the
Absolutely.
caseworker game, yeah.
St. Louis. St. Louis, that's about the alpha top of the pack.
Well, this guy threatened to shoot arriving officers who assembled a SWAT team, but when the SWAT team entered his apartment, he was completely gone. Police did find what they described as, quote, possible bomb-making components in a clear glass jar. They later found him in downtown St. Louis. The caseworker could not be reached for comment, unfortunately. A spokesman for his employer, a St. Louis-based nonprofit healthcare organization, declined to comment. This is not this guy's first run-in with police. On January 30th in 2011, he approached an officer and said, I have a knife. I will hurt you, before running off.
It's another tough day on the job.
Yep, and he was charged with assault and sexual misconduct in May after being accused of flashing his genitals to a bank employee.
Huh.
Yeah, and then elbowing a police officer who responded.
Because of the joke. He's
Yeah,
like,
he
I'm
was
going to go show her
ribbing
my
him.
gun,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to get all the money. Yeah, kind of a funny little lark there.
I feel like if it's just balls out of the pants, you shouldn't be charged with that.
It's kind of
funny.
Yeah, it's real funny.
Balls is just funny.
Yeah.
That's not a sexual threat.
Not
That's
at
just
all.
like a goofy little
Just
game.
balls. Yeah. We're just having fun.
I would commute the sentence for anyone facing public service, public exposure, time in jail for more than 5 years. I would commute the sentence for one ball, but not the other.
So you just cut the ball out of the person.
Two balls, you're out. One ball, I'll give you a second shot.
So you're going to get rid of 3 strikes and you're out, but 2 balls.
That'll be almost the only crime.
What do you get for showing an asshole?
That's lewd.
A butt or a full-on asshole?
The
like
hole,
open
the hole.
cheeks?
Yeah, yeah,
Spread
no.
cheeks.
I mean, that's
A butt's nothing. No one cares about
A whole,
a
the
butt.
asshole's the lewdest thing you can show to a person.
It really is, but I feel like you get in more trouble for pulling your dick out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the hole's way grosser looking. Dirty or clean, it's gross looking to me.
So it's just presenting it in public?
Yeah, but I'm talking hole. They're saying hole. I mean, if
Yeah.
it's just an ass,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. I love an ass.
Yeah, but like spreading the cheeks, bending over, and presenting it to all
And
around.
like trying to protract it or whatever.
Why
Yeah.
is
Prolapse.
present the first verb that we use for that? Is there any? Does anyone want to
Well,
fix
why
that?
else are you doing
Like an
that?
award.
It's what
Show?
it's what animals do, presenting rearly.
Yeah, but that's for fucking.
Yeah, I mean, it
Well, I
could
think
end up
that's
in
what it is.
fucking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
people
why
do.
it's like that's why
No, it's for farting.
bad.
You just want to look when people see my farts.
Someone farts at me, they should get life in prison.
Life in prison.
If I see that fart come out of an asshole, which is like trying to watch a pot boil, but you know, if I see that happening, I'm very upset, and they're killing me or I'm killing them.
You should stop watching assholes.
That's the thing. I need to stop looking at assholes so gross.
Seems like you really like it.
I'm getting in there with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
78 degrees and clear in St. Louis right now.
Nice. I love it.
Bernie, what's your stance on weather?
Look, I am against global warming.
That's very good.
I think that fracking should be stopped. I think we should forcibly put all that oil back in the ground by injecting it violently the way we've gotten it out.
Yeah. What if we did more of a farting? We just brought the McNeelys of the world over to those rocks and had them toot right there and tried to get the resources out that way.
I have to consult with my geological team and get back to you with an answer.
It's about efficiency.
Putting people to work.
Look, as long as it involves pulling someone's finger, I think it could work.
So what's happening? This caseworker, he's a terrorist now.
Yeah, the guy that attacked the caseworker, he's got a charge of terroristic threat. But he's one of those guys that calls up 911 and says, "Hey, I'm going to go shoot up the mall." And then they go and they find him, they arrest him, and he gets out and he does it. He's just a troublemaker in general.
Yeah.
Public beating.
Public beating.
You think
right.
we're going with public beating on this one?
I'm giving a public beating.
All right.
I'm open to looking at a lot of ways to reduce the prison population.
Yeah, this is one of our big stances on Roundtable is that many of the crimes that we talk about on the show, the actual punishment shouldn't be jail time or even a fine, just public beating.
I don't know if I could get on board with corporal punishment. That sounds a little bit too fascistic for my taste. Mm-hmm. I think, in my view, civil punishment could include a stern talking to from time to time. A lot of finger waving. Somebody should, you should have a few professor type people come by and go, "Look what you've done."
Yeah, I mean,
that always worked for me.
I think just a public shaming is more important than a public beating. You know?
Pull his pants down.
Yeah, pull his pants down. Make him march through the town.
Oh, like a goofy public shaming.
Yeah, like where everyone points and laughs.
But
at
what
him.
if it's public
cheese at him?
What if it's public exposure that got him arrested in the first
Yeah,
place?
he likes that.
If he gets hard from it, then we'll come up with another way.
I thought like Ed's idea of throwing old cheese at him.
That works. Something like
shit.
They should tar and feather him, man, like old school shit.
That's pretty harsh.
That's
humiliating.
I think we've learned. We've come a long way. I think it's time a civilized society just feathers people and no tar.
No tar. Maybe a maple syrup or something like that.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Syrup and feather.
Look, you can eat your way out of it.
Maybe a syrup and little marshmallow.
Oh, okay. Well, now we're just getting tasty.
Human s'mores.
Yeah. Yeah, I sentence you to be s'mored.
Oh my God! Yeah, I love it.
Really like to be s'mored right now. That would be like amazing.
We talk about the tar and feathering as if it's like humorous and things like that. Everyone who got tarred and feathered, they ended up dying because your body, there's no room for oxygen to escape, and then you slowly rip off the tar, and then your skin goes with it, and then there would just be like walking, human, like not skeletons.
It's the worst thing you could do to somebody.
It really is.
Yeah.
But you think about it kind of comically nowadays. But you imagine if you actually saw a tar and feathering. I mean, that's pretty
What's
traumatizing.
the point of the feathers?
That's the humiliation
That's the
part.
shame.
Yeah.
Oh,
The tar kills you.
Tarring is actually very respectable.
Very respectful.
The horrific part is the tar. The thing is, it just sort of catches anything around it, so feathers are, oops, look at that. It makes it easier on the viewer of the horrible punishment.
Right.
Kids are able to watch it because they go, "Oh, look, he's a Birdman."
He is like a pro wrestler or something.
But what if the Birdman's jerking off? What if the Birdman's, screaming obscenities?
You never know.
Problem.
You mean Coco Beware? Is that what the reference was?
That's right. I love Coco
Beware. I thought he should have been world champion a couple more times.
I agree. We need to put tar and feather, though. It needs to be up there with the Iron Maiden and all of those horrific, old school Middle Ages.
It is.
It's not really. I think it's a laughing point.
No.
I mean, it's something the Three Stooges did.
Looney Tunes, right?
Most of what the Three Stooges did is outlawed by the Geneva Convention.
Very true.
Article 4 explicitly outlaws twisting someone's nose onto coercion.
That's right.
Next story?
Sure.
Going to Florida for this one.
Right. Oh,
A man
surprise.
Oh, yeah. To a Publix.
Oh, I love Publix.
Publix is great.
Greatest grocery store. Go to Publix. Everybody.
Very well air
Go
conditioned.
get a sandwich, some fried chicken, enjoy yourself.
Yeah. A man. I knew you guys would get excited about the Publix.
Fucking animal.
Is he off the ticket?
I don't know. I'm intrigued. He could pull as many votes as maybe, Jesse Ventura, Howard Stern or something. He's just kind of monster.
A man caught placing his iPhone under the skirt of a public shopper told police that he was actually, quote, taking pictures of cakes for his wife and not engaging in some felonious supermarket voyeurism. According to a police report, the female victim told officers that she caught Michael Shukri Abdul Zatala, 48, filming up her skirt as she shopped Thursday night at the Palm Harbor, Florida market. The woman confronted Atala, reported cops who noted that store surveillance captured the act. When a sheriff's deputy questioned Atala, he, quote, claimed to be taking pictures of cakes for his wife. Atala lives about half a mile from the public supermarket where he was busted. The report does not detail why Atala's purported spouse needed a gallery of cake images, though Deputy Chester Johnson did point out that Atala's iPhone handiwork, quote, occurred in the deli by the hot chicken, not the bakery.
Interesting. I get the same feeling with this as I do when people film at concerts, especially when we went to see the Black Keys. Remember, MTV was like filming the Black Keys that night, and people still had their cameras out. But there was professional camera equipment around that was going to give you a much better view. There was so much upskirt porn out there on Pornhub and all. This guy doesn't have to be doing this by himself.
No. It's about the thrill of getting it yourself.
Yeah.
It's like people
about violating.
This
It's not about art.
He's an iReporter? No, he's a DIY guy. It's like, when you build something yourself and it's a lot more satisfying.
Yes, I'd rather have someone put my shelves up for me.
Right, I'm with you. It's already all out there. Why bother?
You get a certain pride. I get it.
Because it's exciting to violate a woman. What's wrong with you?
In all fairness, though, there was a cake in her pants.
Oh yeah, well, maybe like that. Jane's Addiction, whatever.
Ben caught stealing. Yeah.
Something like that. What are you gonna do? So I guess the guy films it, and then this is what he gets off on. I just don't fully understand the fetish, to be honest.
It's like rich people who steal. You could get it. You have the money. That's not the point. It's the actual act of the thrill, the thrill.
Taking what's not yours.
Exactly. Which is why they need more and more of the wealth of our country.
Bernie, what's your stance on cake?
Cake? Look. In my view, the top layer of the frosting controls too much of the sugar content compared to the lower middle class and the lower layers of the cake.
I don't think you're really politicizing the cake here, Bernie.
I would distribute the sugar content from the top of the cake to all of the layers of the cake evenly.
Bringing politics to sweets. It ain't right, Bernie.
It's your dream, Ben. It's your absolute dream.
It ain't right. So the guy got busted for upskirts.
Yeah, he got busted for upskirts. He's
There's
charged.
good-looking girls at Publix. At least in Tallahassee.
Sure, it's just a supermarket.
No, it was rated best place to meet women.
Yeah, was it like the top 10?
Yeah, I went there every day. Not a one of them would give it a look. Not a one of them would say a hey,
Give
hello.
it a look. Where were
Me,
you just
the
like
face, my
your face? Okay,
you think I'm talking about my
you're
penis?
just like standing there
Just
with
because
your
I have the
penis.
face of a deviant doesn't make me a deviant.
Yeah, jumping to conclusions.
I'm sorry. Yeah. But your reaction to just knowing I was talking about your penis is how I know you're a deviant.
And everything he says makes him a deviant.
Well, that's also how you know that he suppresses it.
I walk into a store, they go, hey, don't show it to me. And I'm like, I'm just here to get some fish for my girlfriend. I'm at the market. It reeks in here, by the way. I hate the smell of the fish market. Garbage place to shop.
Holden's dick is like a water weenie, so it's really difficult for him to pull it out.
That's the thing. It's kind of more like a bag than anything else. Like, that's why I was always like, oh, I'm going to show you my bag. And they're like, what are you talking about, You'll see soon. Sadly, you will know soon enough what I mean by that. Paper or plastic, I say.
It's sad that just by the smell of fish, you take your dick out. That's all that it is.
That's the thing.
Wait, so what if they say paper or plastic? What's with paper and what's with plastic?
I punch it before I show it if it's paper. I just show it if it's plastic. There's no reason for it. I just do. That's what I do.
Yeah, it's just
Talk about reduce, reuse, recycle.
Well, this guy's charged with video voyeurism, which is a felony, by the way, and booked into the county jail. He was released from custody Friday night after posting $5,000 bond. According to his Facebook page, he works for a Clearwater software firm. The page includes no photos or mentions of a wife, however.
Ooh.
So that might be a lie.
I was going to say, let's hear the wife's interview on this. That's not what I wanted.
Yeah. Maybe she's all for it. You never know what people are up to. All
Gotta go
right.
to Publix.
What, his fake wife is really into him
I don't
taking
know.
off skirts?
It just seems
You
like
don't want to know what happens at a Piggly Wiggly.
Oh my God. I love Piggly Wigglies. Do you use one of those selfie sticks in these situations? Or just, just
That'd
in the
probably
hand?
work better.
Yeah, like a boom
Yeah.
mic type thing. Yeah.
I never understood. Actually, doing the upskirt thing is pretty tough.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why
once
do you know that?
I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
because
I mean,
she walking with her legs spread apart. I mean,
yeah,
like,
I'm thinking about the
women don't-
logistics on this. Like, if you're, so what do you do? I guess you'd kneel down to the lower part of the grocery store, and then you just kind of stick your hand out and just blindly take pictures and hope that one of them works out.
And it's Publix, man. It's all full of lights up there. The shadow must be terrible. You can't see shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Selfie stick up the pants, phone's on the foot. You can hit by clicking the stick on your on the side of your
dick.
yeah.
Still
side of your leg.
illegal.
Not even in Bernie's world is that okay, Eddie.
I'm gonna see some up pants shots.
Yeah, sure.
Wear the up pants.
I'm gonna start
I
wearing
think it's gotta be
skirts.
more like a cargo short.
Yeah.
That's how you got to get it up there.
Yeah, like guys in kilts. That's the way to go.
An
Yeah.
up kilt.
Yeah.
You own a
I'm sure
kilt?
there's up kilt.
I did actually own a kilt. I was taken from me. I don't know what happened
It
to
was
it.
taken from
I
you.
wore it though once in London, and this Scottish man got very mad at me. Apparently, it's very disrespectful to be an American in a kilt.
Was it a utila kilt? It wasn't like one of those real ones.
It was legit as fuck. I got it from Edinburgh, and it was my family name's kilt, the McNeely kilt. The colors were green.
You
and
gotta
I think there was
put
some
that
blue
third
in there.
E in that McNeely.
Yeah. McNeely.
So you guys have a. So wait. So you guys have a family crest then?
Oh Lord, yeah.
What's on it?
Fucking eagle with its head exploding. It's awesome. There's just eagle
very
brains
American.
flying everywhere.
Is that because it ate too many rice pellets out in the yard?
Yeah, exactly. It's 3D. You have to wear 3D glasses just to fucking look at it. And then McNeely has to fucking flick you off the entire time you're doing it and talk shit about your mom while you're looking at it.
You know, the Sanders family crest, I actually looked up on Ancestry.com. And it's the seal, the crest, the emblem is just it's a series of a stack of books that are open and they're sort of bookmarked. And then there's some notes that the reader has taken all the various information of the books.
So it's just citations.
And there's no Latin. It's just 11001. There's binary code around the side of it on a bunch of ribbons. And instead of any kind of arrows on the cross, there's just a couple. There's like non-violent rounded sticks.
Yeah, it's cool. That's a hell yeah. Good, very good.
Books and sticks.
It's a very just like non-aggressive, abrasive crest.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, oh, yeah. So it also happens to double as the emblem of the American Library Association.
I love it.
One more story?
Yeah, we can do that or a segment.
Let's just do one more.
Okay, let's do. You just want to do one more?
Let's do one more.
I'd like to do. I have my reasons for doing one more, Ben.
All right, let's do it.
Let's
then.
do one more.
Okay.
Let's get to it because I've got to get out of here. I'm crashing on Cornell West's couch.
Oh.
So I got to make the train and make sure he's still in the office to let me in.
All right.
The office couch.
All right, well, let's go to a segment from Holden McNeely.
A magic spell will do you well, Marcus. We're all going to come up with magic spells, all right? Now, mine is sort of like, it's like a cone kind of spell, like where it's like almost like a reconnaissance kind of spell, you know? It shoots out 50-mile radius, right? And it tells you who in that 50-mile radius around you is horny. And then you can go party with them.
Like an app.
Yeah, something I was going to say.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's like,
yeah, but it's a spell. It's like zoom. It's like a blue bubble you'll see.
Yeah.
Right? And it'll kind of allow you to see through walls at people and stuff.
Oh,
right?
but I
And
don't-
it'll
I
tell
don't-
you who's horny.
so they don't have to be on the app then. It's kind of better than Tinder and Grindr and all that because
you
it's
fist pump
dependent.
twice and it shoots the spell out. Right?
Okay. Bang, bang.
And then it'll tell you exactly each person that's horny.
It's not really a spell as much as like a magic power.
Yeah, that's a spell. It's your It's your spell that tells you every person near you that's horny.
Within how many
50 miles.
50 miles.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
50
people.
miles,
You
yeah,
can get them all together and party with them.
All right. All right. Let's do Bernie next because I know he's got to get out of here.
What was the question again? I'm against abortion protesters. I'm in favor of pro-choice.
So a magical spell.
A magical spell.
For
Okay.
Marcus to use.
For me, personally.
For you to use at your own discretion, I assume.
At my own discretion, yeah.
Okay.
He's responsible.
Yes, I'm a very responsible person.
Okay, so this is a spell that makes the state of Texas magically turn into a rainforest
Oh,
to help solve global warming.
that's
And it also, look, we pay for it. We pay for it by simultaneously sinking Florida on the water rapidly, not unlike a Lex Luthor plot, so that we can then use that excess water that we caught over to water the rainforest of Texas.
all right. So geomancy.
Yeah.
okay.
Very good. You know how to use the word.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bernie.
All right, Kevin.
For you. All right, the spell's for you then, right? This is a spell where you alone are able to, you can't do this to others, but change the consistency of your bones depending on what animal you're thinking about.
Oh.
So, it's great for situations you're in a fight. You want to fuck somebody up? Whale bones, probably stronger. If you want to get yourself just crushed, you turn it to fucking, kettlefish bones or something like that, and then it's easier for you to just get torn apart.
So I'm just changing density,
And changing density,
but not shape.
not shape.
Just density.
It's the animal you're thinking about is density. That's the spell.
It's very good, Ben.
I like it. I'm going to say, you got your pizzas, your Papa John's, Pizza Huts, Domino's, everything that you eat.
It's a magic spell for Marcus to use.
Moose meat pizza. Remember that?
Yeah, whatever. But the spell just it makes it healthy, and the more you eat, the more weight you lose, and the buffer you get. So something where it changes everything that's good to eat. It's sort of like the movie Thinner, but you have control.
Oh.
And so at some point you don't have to use the spell, and you can actually get some nutrition too.
Wow. So
you
I could
can see
just
whatever you
eat
want.
like curry like all the time.
whatever you want.
And it's totally cool.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
healthy
like more
for
of a
him.
spell for Ben than for
Yeah, I
very
was gonna say
skinny
the same.
Marcus.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really.
Skinny Marcus kind of doesn't need that.
I kind of eat whatever I want and do just
Anything, right?
fine.
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah, I can eat anything.
Kind of all the time, huh?
All the time.
Yeah, he
Like,
eats only burgers and burritos. I see it every
Yeah,
day.
burgers.
So my spell has already worked.
Yeah.
So
It's
I think
just
I won that
Marcus.
one.
Yeah. It's just an unfortunate, but
Genetic
fortunate
disorder,
at
yeah.
the same time. Yeah, it's a genetic thing.
Weird.
Nailed that one.
Very weary.
Okay, a spell for Marcus would be at any moment you can find out who around you is a serial killer, so you can interview them, and then you have more stuff for last podcast.
Ooh, very
That is
nice.
Actually,
Yeah.
I thought of that one earlier, so I think
But you
that's
didn't
really
say it,
cool.
though.
that you
Yeah.
said
It's a
that one.
lie what you
You
said.
like it because you thought
I
of it.
may have lied. I have said 3 lies in this podcast. You have to figure out, folks at home, which lie. This is good. This gives us re-listenable content. You have to figure out which lie I have said.
Also, I like it's also for me because we work in the same building, so you could be like, "That's a serial killer. Don't go near that person." Yeah,
Don't
so
go.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Him out of here.
Perfect.
Okay, so here's your spell. It only lasts for 3 minutes at a time. Okay.
What is the cooldown rate?
And immediate. And what happens is when you're talking to someone and you want to know if they're thinking about sex, their hair grows so rapidly that you can see it growing like violently
Jesus.
if they're thinking about fucking. And if they're not, it doesn't grow. But it's only for 3 minutes at a time, and that you can use on dates.
But what's the cooldown rate after that? Like, if I use it for 3 minutes at a time, how long do I have to wait to use it again?
Oh, you can use it over and over again, but just never on the same person in a row.
Oh, never on the same person on a row. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna. But that's the thing is that if their hair starts growing rapidly, they're gonna start freaking out and not want to fuck anymore.
Yeah, well, that's the burden that you have to carry.
The curse.
Or is it like it's just you see it and they don't see it?
No.
Oh,
All right. No.
that's the better version of Holden.
Yeah, my horniness spell. You can party with them. Ed,
I'm gonna.
don't say anything about people getting horny because apparently no one likes it. Apparently everyone hates it, even though you can party with them all night. Anyways, Ed.
Bone duplicator.
Bone duplicator.
Always with the bone. What a cheap shot with the bones.
You're playing a Marcus.
Yeah.
You told me to make one for myself. Wouldn't it be a fucking bone duplicator?
What would it be?
A ham duplicator.
Oh, Ed gets it. Ham duplicator wins it.
Duplicator it is. What an episode of the Roundtable. God, I'm so happy we've been doing this podcast for 5 years.
Go party with him afterwards.
Yeah, we can party with them.
Yep, absolutely. So Eddie wins with the ham duplicator. How are you, Ed? You doing good?
I'm good, man. As soon as I get some more ham.
All right. Find Eddie Tunes on Twitter at @EddieTunes_.
Yes.
And then Holden McNeely isn't on Twitter.
Catcher6945, PlayStation Network. Hit me up. I'll give you a shout out. Would love to play a game sometime.
What's the 49?
6945.
Oh, 69. What's the 45?
I don't know. You're
An
your
old
fucking.
kind of music.
That's right. That's right. That's why he gets my fucking vote.
Like little small pandas.
Kevin Barnett, thank you. Can we all just congratulate Kevin for selling the show?
Yeah, thanks.
Jesus, should have done that earlier, But anyway, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no one's gonna hear it's the end of the episode.
No, people stick around. I mean, some people do. I don't know. Fat Boy Barnett, you can find him on Twitter. Maria, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And people check out her podcast.
Sure, it's about us.
Yeah.
It's on iTunes.
And you're on Twitter too?
SoundCloud, Stitcher. You can look me up on Twitter. I'm Maria Heinig, MariaHein, as in Nigeria, EGG.
Okay. And then, of course, Miss Peggy O'Leary.
Yeah. HLV, Hardly Ambitious, and Peggy O'Leary.
Awesome. And thank you so much, Senator Sanders, for being with us the entire episode.
Thank you. That's a distinct honor and also the only available show I could do on a Sunday night in New York, believe it or not.
It was an honor having you here, Bernie.
Thank you. The honor is all yours.
Of course.
I am, if you want to know more about Bernie Sanders, just go on anyone's Facebook wall.